Okay. Aaron, welcome to the Sports Editor. It's really great to have you on the show and talk about your interesting and busy football career.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for having me.
That's good stuff, man. Aaron, from a young age, European football has been part of your career. Was it something that you worked at from a long time and then things worked out for you? And did you enjoy your time in Europe?
Ryan, I did enjoy. Yes, playing football is something that I always loved. But when I was at school, I was playing football and other sporting codes. So I used to play basketball. I used to play volleyball. But then football really took over. And immediately when I got a move to play in a professional league in South Africa, yet for PSL, that's when actually I saw that sky is the limit. So I never looked back, and from then I enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, that's excellent. And it stands out for me, with your time in the English Premiership, with Blackburn Rovers. Was that a bit of like a highlight of your career to spend time with that club?
I can tick boxes. I think I had so many highlights. Ryan. Like as I said, I'm from the dusty streets of Bidvest in South Africa. From there, signed a professional contract at the age of 15 to play in PSL in South Africa. From there, I played for the national team at the age of 17 and a half. And then I moved to Germany, played for Bayer Leverkusen. From Bayer Leverkusen, I went to play for Ajax Amsterdam. From Ajax Amsterdam, I went to play for, in Germany, in Belgium, called Germinal Beerschot and Racing Genk. 2005, playing in EPL, it's always been a dream for me. And luckily 2005, my Q's actually knocked at the door, and I signed the contract with Blackburn Rovers. That for me, I think in English football fraternity, it was the highlight really. But I can name another highlight where I managed to captain Portsmouth and play in FA Cup final. So in England actually, playing for Blackburn Rovers, breaking through to English football by playing for Blackburn Rovers. It was a dream come true, but I would probably say the highlight was when I've signed for Portsmouth and I became the captain. I played for FA Cup. I played in FA Cup final.
Sure. No, that's excellent, Aaron. There's so many highlights of your career, and it's an exciting career, and there's so many good things that you've achieved. But one thing as well, I'm going to touch on quite a few things there that you spoke about, but if we can just stay with Blackburn briefly, over 100 caps for the club. And I think you were there for about 6 seasons or so. How did you manage to stay on top of your game for so long and be so reliable? Because, that's excellent as well. 100 caps is a really, really good effort.
Definitely. 100 cap in such a difficult league.
Yeah.
For me, I think, and more especially from Africa, if I were to say, it's been a good effort, and I was loved. I was loved for at the club. I've signed two contracts with the club. Mark Hughes never wanted me to leave the club. Yeah. So it was absolutely a dream come true, and I enjoyed myself. Nowadays it's so difficult to see these young lads going to England and stay longer as I did. 6 years for me, I think I've done what I had to do.
Sure, and you're touching and making some really good points to talk about there. But just to, you mentioned Mark Hughes, and here back in South Africa, we see these guys on TV and we watch the English Premier League and we're like, wow, it's so nice. But you were like with them, you were coached by them, you rubbed shoulders with all these big guys. What is it like? I know you said growing up it was a dream come true, but once you're there, how do you sort of take it all in? It's like, these are the big chiefs, so to say. It's interesting.
No, Ryan, to be honest, it was never easy. It wasn't easy at all. First and foremost, for me, actually, I had to understand that I'm playing in a foreign land. I play in a difficult league. I would probably say in the toughest league in the world. And as a foreigner, I had to understand that I needed to double the effort. I had to sacrifice so many things so I can stay focused in the game, and that's exactly what I did. I had to work harder and be accepted by the fans to start with. For me, I think the most important thing was to get myself in there, to get to be accepted by the fans, to get to be loved, or to get to be in the plans of the technical team. And it's exactly what I did. Like I said, 6 years, over 100 caps. That for me actually it tells you the story.
Yeah, it does, Aaron. And it's really good to see. But I just want to touch briefly with your time at Portsmouth as well. And like you mentioned, interesting time for you being captain, brilliant achievement. But you said the Premier League is the toughest league in the world, and I think we understand that. But, again, from watching TV, I don't know if we realize just how tough it is. Those guys really get stuck in, don't they? They make sure they let you know that they're around. They're not scared to hold back a tackle.
No, exactly. I mean, it's a toughest league and exciting league. That's why you see the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to English football club, because they understand that it's a league that is out there. It's a league that has so many followers, and it's a league that you have to stay professional. I mean, you got to be able to sleep well, eat well, and be ready for the game. I mean, the love of the game among the English people, you can't hide, during the match. So you got to stuck in. You have to stuck in. You got to be able to be on top of your game. That's why I'm saying, for me, I think I have played. I've been so fortunate to play in other countries in Europe, but in England, that's where actually I felt that it is tough, because you got to tick boxes. You got to tick boxes. You got to be on top of your game at any time, not only during match days, but at training as well. You got to be fresh. But stucking in for me, I think it's what have put me in there and made me to stay even longer and to enjoy my game in England. Like as I said, you rightly said it. You've got to be able to stuck in and dig deeper, and make sure that the team wins. So with the way I used to play, English football actually suited my style of play.
No, that's great to hear, Aaron. But one thing that just I find interesting, and you touched on it a bit earlier, it's with all due respect to the current players in South Africa. But I look at the likes of you played in England, Sean Bartlett was there, Bradley Cornell played overseas, Matthew Booth was overseas, Lucas Radebe, brilliant, Andre Arendse. We had quite a nice group of guys playing overseas in the toughest leagues. And I don't know, maybe I haven't done my research correctly, but we don't see quite the same amount of guys playing overseas at the moment. Do you know what's affecting that? Are the guys maybe wanting to just stay in South Africa more? What do you think the reason is?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question, to be honest, Ryan. Because I always say, to be the best, you got to rub shoulders with the best.
Yeah, for sure.
And where do you find the best? In due respect, you find the best in big leagues out there in Europe.
Yeah.
So the boys, the fact that they don't want to move abroad, it's a serious question, because I believe that once you play in top leagues and you come and represent your country, it becomes easier, and it certainly leaves, and it leaves a great impact for the national team. And to be honest, I mean, you get to be known when you play in big leagues. So
for sure.
I guess it's a personal choice. One actually have a dream. One has goals, and our goal has been, I want to play abroad. I want to play against the top players. So I'm wondering why actually our boys they don't think that way. But to be honest, I know that there are a lot of boys who want to move abroad. But the question is why they never stay. So the answer to that, I always say, it's a mental strength, mental question.
Yeah.
If you're not strong mentally, you can't stay longer, or you can't. You can't sacrifice. So I guess maybe again it's because of South African football. It's quite. There's money in South African football. But so in South Africa the boys are so comfortable. Maybe that's the best answer. But like as I said, for me, if you want to be named one of the best, you got to be able to rub shoulders with the best.
No, that's true. No, I agree with you flat out. It's very interesting. But I also see in the local league, South African league, they're trying to bring more overseas players in because, for example, I think there was a French chap who scored a winning goal for Maritzburg United the other night, and he's a French player. So they are trying to also bring overseas guys into the South African league, I think, to make it maybe a bit more exciting. Has it worked nicely for the guys so far, for the league?
Well, like I said, in Africa, and probably, I would probably say in the world, PSL is one of the best leagues as well. That's why you find overseas players coming to play in South Africa.
Yeah.
That tells you that we have a competitive, we have an exciting league. That's fine. That's fine. I really don't have a problem with that. You have players that have played for their clubs. Like, I can just name one player, Kekana, the former captain for Sundowns. He played for Sundowns for the rest of his career, and over a decade,
Yeah.
And he played Champions League. He won Champions League.
Sure.
He won so many league titles or cups in South Africa. That for me, it makes me to say he is one of the best because he has played Champions League. Once you stay in PSL and your club compete in Champions League, then it makes sense to me, But then once you get an opportunity to go and play in Europe and come back and plow back in South African football, that's what it takes, So yes, PSL is an exciting league, but the boys need to understand that once you play abroad, you absolutely get more experience, you get more exposure, and you become the best, when you play out there.
No, definitely. That's excellent, Aaron. But you finished off with your career with Bidvest, and then there must have been quite a number of positive things for you with your time playing again in South Africa, ending your career off, having all the European experience, coming back to South Africa, and perhaps giving it to all the guys around you there. There must have been a few positive experiences for you at your time there.
Yeah, I think for me, the move that happened to me is basically to leave South Africa, go abroad, and come back to retire at home. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
It happens to to many players. Like as you read lately that Cristiano Ronaldo's mom wants him to go and retire in Portugal. That's how it's supposed to be. He started playing in Portugal. He traveled all the, he traveled the, I'd probably say, he traveled the world, and then he wants, he might go and retire at home. So that's how it's supposed to happen, not other way around. So for me, I think coming back home to play for Bidvest, I have thought hard about it, and I thought, I have ticked all the boxes. I played, to start, I played in South Africa. To get a stepping stone, and I went abroad, and I played African Cup of Nation 4 times. I played 2 World Cups. I captained, the national team. I played in the Olympic. I played for the under-23s. So I really sat back and I thought, I have ticked all the boxes, to be honest. I played UEFA Cup, I played FA Cup, I played Carling Cup, I scored goals, I defended. So coming back home by that time was a perfect move for me and a well thought decision for me. So at Bidvest, to be honest, I felt that, for me it wasn't really about winning the league. It was just about coming back home and network and get the feel, because obviously I left the country when I was young. So it was just to get the feel of, getting back that South African way, I would say South African lifestyle, South African lifestyle, and obviously knowing that I'll be coming back home to live forever, I needed to get my things sorted in terms of, knowing right people to talk business to, being able to say, now I am done, thank you very much to football.
No, that's brilliant, Aaron. It sounds like you've had a full career. It's really good to hear. Really, really good. You mentioned, playing for South Africa, and yes, World Cup was brilliant. And just touch on the 2010 World Cup. I think we can both agree it's been the best World Cup of all time.
No, definitely. I think it has been, could have been much better, or could have been it could have been I would probably say it could have been the highlight of my career if we won the World Cup.
Yeah, sure.
But I always say it has been one of the best, and the first World Cup in African soil, and the fact that I have been a member of that World Cup and being the captain as well, I really cannot complain. And you look at our group, Ryan, to be honest, in the history of World Cup, remember we had Mexico, we had Uruguay, we had France in our group. And we're talking about three countries with a massive experience of World Cup.
No, for sure.
And we were the underdogs, as much as we were hosting, but we were inexperienced in that manner. So we managed to accumulate 4 points. And normally with 4 points in the history of World Cup, you go through to the next round. But that shows that we were in the group of death.
That was tough.
But we managed to compete. Draw against Mexico, one of the best in the world, winning against France, and obviously losing against Uruguay. But in that 4 point, 3 goals for us. It's supposed to take you through.
You're right.
I think if we're in a different group with those points, we could have went through. So for me, I think it was absolutely a good effort for me as a captain, for the boys, and for the country.
No, you're right, Aaron. No, I fully agree with you. Incredible experience, man. Something you can be proud of. But Aaron, it must have been a bit interesting for you because Lucas Radebe was quite an icon for South African football, and then you took over as captain. Just how, I don't know, maybe the right word is tough. How tough is it to be a captain of the national side?
Look, right now, I always say leaders are born.
Yeah, true.
So if you're a born leader, it's never tough. One, you know what you're supposed to do. Firstly, for me, I have been a team player, Yes, I was a captain in the field, but I made sure that I was surrounded with the right people in terms of players. I made players to play part in leadership. I made players to understand that we all wearing national colors, we all representing the country, we all representing ourselves and the family. So it's important to understand once we get in the field that it's not about one captain. Yes, it always comes back to the leader when the team wins and when the team loses. But the fact of the matter is that for me, I made sure that players understand their roles, players understand their importance in the field, and players understand that we all leaders in the park.
No, that's a brilliant explanation of leadership, Aaron. Really good to hear that. That's excellent. But you also went on to represent South Africa on 107 occasions. Again, more than 100.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Again, Aaron, you're just really consistent, and you just see being a real good example, if I can use that word as well. Again, how did you manage to do that? Because that's a lot of work, and not many guys I think are able to do that too often.
Again, Ryan, for me, I think it's what I wanted. I wanted to be honest in the pitch. I wanted to be counted. I wanted to be. I never wanted to add numbers. I wanted to make sure that when I step in the park, I sort of stamp that authority. From when I was young till I retire, I make sure that with my first cap, I don't want to look back. I have to make sure that when it's time to say goodbye to football, I have to write my own story. I have to write. I have to be in a football history book. So for me, it wasn't a fluke. It was something that I actually anticipated, and I worked hard towards. So yes, it was absolutely privileged and hard work in it. But listen, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed every moment that I have stepped in the park, every moment that I have led the team, every moment that I won that national colors.
That's awesome, Aaron. No, great to hear that. And it's nice. I don't think there's a better feeling than leading, your country out there on the field every time. It's awesome.
Sure.
But now you find yourself on the other side, and you're coaching now. How's that going?
Look, yes, I was actually I got involved with Cape Town City, but end of the season I stopped trying to be the coach at Cape Town City. The reason for me it's been I always said, Ryan, that I don't see myself as a coach.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
I actually enrolled at the moment. I'm doing MIP, that's Masters International Players. So that is a course. If you Google it, it's a course that helps footballers to be able to run organizations. Football clubs, any big football organization, it helps you. It's actually the course that helps you to be able to be the boss in football space. So I felt that I actually have my own academy now, Mokoena Academy, and excellent. I also have my own league, Mokoena Wednesday School Sports Super League. Sure. So for me, that actually it's where I wanted to be. I wanted to own myself. I wanted to report to myself. I wanted to make a difference in football fraternity, and the way to go about it wasn't really to sit on the bench. I mean, to be honest, it was a great experience, and I'm blessed that I was in an environment that it's well managed professionally. Thank you to John Committees. I haven't spoken about it before, but thank you to John Committees. He gave me an experience. He gave me an opportunity, and he always said, anytime when I want to come back, I can always come back. And I really appreciated that. Right now, actually, I'm doing so many things in development of football, which is where I actually wanted to. I still believe that there are a lot of people in South Africa, a lot of coaches that are doing their best in terms of developing football. But with me, with the experience that I have, with the upbringing that I had in Ajax Amsterdam, the development structure that I belonged at, I wanted to take that back and plow back in South Africa. So now I'm involved in development of football in South Africa, which is where I always wanted to be. And I feel that I can make a difference and help South African football to grow and develop these boys, not only in the football pitch, but education is very important as well, academically, life skills as well. So I wanted actually to get in there and see actually if maybe there would be any player that can break Aaron Mokoena's record.
Sure, Aaron. So it sounds like you're a busy man, but I think it's quite great to see that you've got ambition there. And again, you're helping people. So that's awesome. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to seeing in the future what it holds. It's really, really good. But Aaron,
thank you so much.
Got two more questions for you. Where do you feel SA is now in terms of qualifying for the World Cup? Is the squad in a good place? Are they looking set for the next World Cup? What do you feel?
Look, firstly, I think we have started brilliantly. Playing Zimbabwe away, a point. For me, I think we can take that. Coming back home, playing one of the big countries in the continent, Ghana, and managed to beat them.
That was a big win. Yeah.
4 points. I think that's a good start. That's really a good start. So it's now all about don't look back. It's all about now understanding that Ethiopia, it won't be easy. Let's go to Ethiopia. And, I always say we need to win all our home games. Away game can be difficult, but we don't have to lose away. I mean, I'm talking from experience. Playing away, whether you play against so to call small countries. There's no small country anymore, Ryan, and more especially when these countries plays against Bafana. They make sure that they're on top of their game. So away games are always going to be, very difficult. So for me, a draw away, we can always take that, but let's make sure that we win all our home games. So good start, like I said, and I have a great respect to the manager or the coach that we have, Hugo Bros. He has a massive experience in Africa and in Europe. Okay. He did well in African continent, so he understands what it takes to win championships, and hopefully he will help. He will help Bafana to do well. That's what we need. It's about time. I mean, it's been a while not qualifying for the World Cup. It's been a while not qualifying for big events. So now it's about that time actually to get through and go and put an effort to do well in Qatar.
Yeah, no, it'll be good for the country and for South African soccer. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, like you said, it's about time. So,
yeah, no, it's about time. It's about time for real. Yeah.
And Aaron, do you still keep your eye on the English Premier League? Do you follow it at all still?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's where it's my second home. Right. So I cannot look look anywhere. But watching EPL, watching EPL is always what I enjoy doing.
And it looks like it's going to be a really tight race to see who's going to win it this season. Who's your money on?
I think it's still early. I think it's still early to tell, really, right? But I think to be honest, I'm going to put my neck on the block right now by saying I look at Chelsea, and I think Chelsea can really do well with the signings they have, with how they have started the championship. So I think they stand a good chance, but not writing off Man City and Liverpool as well. Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting one. I mean, you have Manchester United as well, actually, right there on the top as well. So it's going to, like something, it's still early, but Chelsea for me, I think this season they're looking forward to win it, really. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, I can't wait. But Aaron, thank you so much for your time. I'm really looking forward to seeing how your projects go, and I'd like to stay in contact with you. And yeah, let's see how we can grow this and move forward, man. So really, good luck for the project. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having a chat with you, mate.
All right, my man. All the best. Stay well.
Cheers. You too. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.